Hey y'all. Happy Thursday. How you doing? Hopefully you can hear me and see me. Y'all, ooh, look at the chat already. Hey, you are here. Hey. So I see Word Up Psychotherapy was first in the chat and also a YouTube channel member. You too should join. Join the membership. Hey. How you doing? No, you were early. You were right on time. You were right on time. And those of you who want to make sure you don't miss a live, click the notification bell and choose all. This way you'll know when I post any content and go live, like today. Hey. So it's a lot to talk about today. I hope everybody is doing well. I don't really keep track of the days anymore. So I do realize now that it is 4 days till Christmas. And now I'm like trying to play catch up because, life is different now. Life is different, which is why talking about the holidays is the subject of tonight. And yeah, wanted to say hi to everybody in the chat. So I said hi to Word of Psychotherapy. I see Jess is here. Greta is in the house. Hey, Greta. Yes, listen to Jess. Hit the notification bell. Yes, listen to Jess. Hey, Pinky's in the house. Hey, another channel member, Meg P. How you doing? Yes. And I haven't posted it in the group, but it's also for our YouTube channel members. We're going to do a vision board party at the top of the new year. So you hear it first. So that is special. Hey, the Howards are in the house. I was just thinking about you. Yes. Marguerite, hey. How you doing, Marguerite? I miss you. Hopefully I'll see you Saturday. Marguerite is in the house. All right. Winnie B. Winnie B. Yes. All right. Good to see you all. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Krishan Wright. I'm the founder of blaxitglobal and the host of the blaxitglobal podcast. Like, I don't even know. I haven't even started drinking, and already I'm mumbling my words. I'm host of the blaxitglobal podcast, which is coming back January 1st, 2024. I was just listening to an edit before came on, so got a couple episodes ready for y'all. I can't wait. Countdown. Hey, Norman is here. Hey, Norman. And Jametta, how you doing? Thank you. Happy holidays to all of you as well. And so, yeah, if you are interested in moving abroad, learning about life abroad, you are in the right place. I am joining you from my home in Lisbon, Portugal. Yay. And so, yeah, I wanted to talk about, hey, Chef B, wanted to talk about celebrating the holidays abroad because this is my first time celebrating the holidays abroad. And it's different. I have to say, it's different. So, for those of you who are abroad, like Marguerite and the Howards, or it's your desire to move abroad, you may want to know, like, what do you need to know in terms of celebrating? So we're going to talk about different ways. And you know me, I like it to be interactive. So if you have any questions, suggestions, please feel free to post it in the chat. Just put a Q in front, makes it really easy for me to find you. So we're going to talk about it. So the major holidays, right, are Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, New Year's, right? Hanukkah, for those of you that celebrate that as well. And so for me being in Portugal, and it's a Christian country, so Thanksgiving isn't celebrated here because that's a whole US thing. So that didn't affect me so much in terms of seeing the cues, right? Turkey and stuffing in the aisle and, circulars and stuff like that. But it did in terms of like my normal habits was when I was in the States. I would either go to my girlfriend's or go see my family down south. And my family was having a big party to celebrate my aunt's 80th birthday, my father's youngest sister, and my father's no longer living. So I usually go down and visit my extended family there. It's usually like 50 of us. We take over the two houses and we have a lot of fun. But for this year, because I had my residency appointment like the week before, and I wasn't 100% sure if I would have the permit in time or that I'd be able to leave, I didn't fly back to the States. Plus, I was just there in September for my daughter's 18th birthday. So my aunt knew that well in advance, and so I missed it. It was a fun party. But we are planning to do something hopefully in the spring, so I don't have to wait all the way until next Thanksgiving. But it did make it a bit easier to deal with it because it's a holiday that's not celebrated here. So some people get together and they had Friendsgiving, which I think I celebrated, yeah, kind of sort of like a Friendsgiving when I was in the States. But for holidays, major holidays for me, it's been different for a number of reasons over the years because my children, my ex and I, we would alternate the major holidays. So some years they would be with me for Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's. And so I got used to, okay, Krishan, what do you do when you have the holidays to yourself? And so I've worked through all of that and found ways to celebrate. Like in, what was it, 2018? I think it was 2018. I went to Curacao to celebrate New Year's. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. I want to jump over to the chat for a bit because I see some other people popped up in here, like Pisces Pratt. Hey, hey, hey. And Helen, boa noite, boa noite. Yes. So, yeah, so Jess, yes, definitely in a good way. So in 20, yeah, it was 2018. It was 2018. I took a solo trip to Curacao and I stayed at this beautiful resort that no longer exists. I think the property is still there, but the uh, owner, changed hands. A lot of places got hit hard during the pandemic. Went out of business, but I think they're back under a different handle. I think maybe Sandals owns them now. But when I went, I was like, oh, you know what? I wonder how cool it'll be to celebrate New Year's in a different country. So off I go to Curacao, stayed at a resort for 9 days, and it was beautiful. I had time to read. I was just relaxing. I don't speak Papiamentu. I don't speak any Dutch. So I was like, let's see how this is going to go. But at the resort, I didn't have to worry about that, right? A lot of English is spoken. So I was able to communicate even when I, went off property and went kind of looking around Curacao. But interestingly enough, what they do on, I think it's the first Sunday of the year, uh, like everybody that has a boat or knows somebody that has a boat, all get on boats. And you just see like these fleets of boats just like one after another. It seemed like for an hour, just like big boats, little boats. It was this little hair. I just got out of the shower, so so big boats, little boats, and they're all going. And then there were like these big old helicopters like hovering by, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Right. So I'm like, this is odd. So I asked them, I was like, what is going on? And they said, oh, the first Sunday of the new year, everybody who has a boat gets a boat, something. They all get in a boat and they go off island to this smallish island. And everyday people, celebrities, you name it. They all go to this island and they have a big ass party the whole day. And the helicopters were the police because they want to make sure there's like no drugs or anything that happens, either in these boats or once they get to the destination. And they have a big old party, and you just hear music blaring, women in bikinis, men in shorts, are just jamming. I'm like, y'all know how to get down. Y'all know how to get down. But if that wasn't enough, right? Because they stay out all day. I should finish the story. So they stay out all day. And then around 6-ish, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, then you see them all coming back. Now, when they all come back, the energy is different. They don't look like they had a good time. But it was different. I had never experienced anything like that. But Curacao was also memorable because, like I said, it was the first time I celebrated a major holiday outside the US. And I was, on a solo trip. So so I'm at the resort and I'm like, I made the decision that I'm going to stay on resort. I'm not going to go venture around because I had this rule, like I don't go out at night when I'm traveling alone. I don't have that rule anymore, but at the time I did. And so I went and I had dinner, and then I got like a little bottle of Prosecco and went to my room, and then I just had that, and then went to bed at like my usual bedtime, like 10 o'clock. And I was like, okay, I'm used to how I do it in the States, right? If I stay up, I'll watch the ball drop, or I might go turn in early. You'll hear a firecracker or two, whatever. Not in Curacao. No. I was in the resort, went to bed, was knocked out. Because remember, I had the little bottle of Prosecco. And I was awakened to what I thought was a terror attack. It was so loud. Like, I was like, oh, the resort is, lighting off fireworks. My friends, no. Everybody on the island is lighting fireworks, and not the no. It's the boom, earth-shattering, windows shaking, your bed vibrating, like the whole island is lighting fireworks. I'm like, what the hell? And so there's no sleeping through that because it literally sounded like an attack. I was like, what is going on? Because I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Then you hear, like I said, I'm at a resort, right? So now you hear the kids screaming, the babies crying, because it is loud. Like I really thought we were under attack. And then I was like, oh, okay, maybe it'll go on for like a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour tops. No, my friends. That sucker went on for like 2.5 hours. Yes, it was like almost 3 o'clock in the morning before the bad boy stopped. I was like, Jesus. I get no sleep. So, warning, if you choose to celebrate New Year's in Curacao or any island country, it might be in your best interest to find out what they actually do when they celebrate said holiday. Like, how big is big? And if you're ready for that, because you might get a rude awakening, like I literally did. Hey, your daughter's in the house. Yes. Speaking of boats, I've been looking at boats. Half of today I was looking at boats because thank you. Hey, Alexandria's in the house. Yes. So I was looking at boats because we have our boat party. So for those of you, and I'm just realizing I did not open it up. Let's see if it'll work. So I am collaborating once again with our friends at our Black Utopia, and we are hosting a summer meetup for Juneteenth. So we have boats, in plural. There are 2 boats. One is for the meetup. The other is the boat that I'm looking at for my birthday party, which is the following week, I think. So I was asking about getting prices for a yacht. And so there's a link for those of you who want to join the summer meetup. You can get it at the early bird price, the 2023 price. Now, the 2024 price, if you choose to wait, is going to be more. Just let you know now, because inflation still is inflating. I got an email today from the Portuguese Transportation Authority. Like, I don't know, I think that's what they call themselves. But just saying that prices on, I think the trains are going to go up 6.5% or 6.75%. So get in while you can and join us, and we'll have a party. Right, Angel? Yay! So yeah, that was the whole New Year's in Curacao. So I also want to know from you guys, where have you spent a major holiday outside the US? Okay, so while you guys are answering that, so like I said, for Thanksgiving wasn't a big deal for me outside of missing my family, of course. And so I just came back with Bailey, had some salmon, made dinner, was chilling. Now with Christmas, like I said, my kids are now grown. I have an empty nest. This is my first Christmas with a fully empty nest. Like last Christmas, I still had the half nest going. So this one is the first time, no children in the house, right? Just me and a dog. And I've been celebrating, I think, differently. So Jess is saying, "Oh, you've done a Disney cruise. Oh my goodness. Where to? Tell me more." Hey, Dakota, can't wait till the meetup. I can't wait for it either. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, so for Christmas this year, like I said, I lost track of the days. And so I was like, ooh, maybe I should get some gifts. So I ordered some things last night off of Amazon. It's always good in the clutch. So I did that. And this time last year, maybe not the 20th, I think we were there the week before. My daughter and I went to London to the International Horse Show. And that's where I saw like the holiday lights. And that was really fun. And that kind of segues into what I'm doing differently now that I'm abroad. Jess is saying they went to a Disney cruise in Mexico. Alexandria said spent Thanksgiving in London, US themed dinner, a US, the emoji didn't come through. Okay. Wow. A US themed diner. Okay. Oh, thank you for the super sticker. Word up psychotherapy. That's very thoughtful. Thank you. Dr. Donna said Jamaica and London, England with family. That's awesome. Thank you. Love you too. So, yeah, so let me know for those of you who have celebrated, what was different? Like, does it feel different? Because like this feels different. So last year when I went to London with my daughter, that was our first time having an international like girls weekend. We've gone away before together, but nothing outside the U.S. borders. And so we went to the horse show. The first night of the horse show, because my daughter's an equestrian, we saw Princess Anne was in the audience. So we saw her, and then maybe like the second day, we went and saw, I wanted to see some of the Christmas markets because look, I'm an influencer, I think kind of, and I be on Instagram. And so I was like, oh, I want to see the Christmas markets. We find the stores, and if anybody has seen that reel on my Instagram page, it was beautiful. like Dior's all decked out, Harrods of London, and these big gigantic displays, right? And then the Christmas markets, they had the guys selling the chestnuts roasting on an open fire, the churros, the Nutella, all the things, right? I'm like, my eyes were wide open. I was all big, and I'm running through, and my daughter's like, "What is wrong with you?" Because that is not me, or that was not me, right? In the States, of course, decorate the house, put up the tree, do all that things. But my life in the US was very predictable. I had a predictable routine, get up, make breakfast, kids to school, come home, walk the dog, right? Do some work, maybe go to the store, pick up kids, rinse and repeat, right? Um, and so it's just rote. And when I'm abroad, there's so much, right, to take in. Everything is foreign and new. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So this year, she's on break, but she's still in the States. She doesn't come until next month. So I was like, wow, you know what? As we started getting into December, I was like, I want to do Christmas markets. So I did the first one here in Rocio Square. So I'm still working on my Portuguese pronunciation. And that was cool, a little subdued. And maybe it was because it was like my first 2 days, or I think it was the first 2 days that it was open. And I was waiting for Wonderland. So if you see my Instagram stories, you've seen Wonderland. So I was waiting for that. And then, as you guys know, I went to Italy, and the Christmas markets there were pretty good. Like, they were a lot of people selling different wares. Some people had bags, some people had cheese, meats, the standard fare, sweets, of course. But it was definitely nothing on the magnitude of like how it was in London until I went to Winter Wonderland in Portugal, and that was the other day. I think I went Monday, and it was big. It was beautiful. It was fun. It had a big old Ferris wheel. They take over like the other half of my favorite park, Park Eduardo the Seventh. And oh my gosh, it was so much. The food was good. They had different rides, different displays. It was so much fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The Howard said Christmas and New Year's in Portugal, scouting during winter, had to check the winter weather. Yes, that's the other thing. Like, I don't have the same cues that let me know that it's the holiday season. One, being in Portugal, it's not as consumer driven as it is in the US. So even though I see like displays, I'm not inundated with the buy this, buy that. It might be there, but my Portuguese isn't good enough to to read it and discern it. But more importantly, the weather, right, is mild and temperate here. So I don't have the weather cues, right? It's been in the 60s here, right? Low 60s, high 50s. So I also don't feel like the whole like, oh, cues of winter. So I literally lost track of the days. Hey, Miss Penny's Kitchen. Hey. Oh, your first Christmas in Portugal. Tell us, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna see Miss Penny. Very soon. So yeah, so that was different. Going there, and I tried at the Wonderland, I tried barao, which I had never heard of before. So I was with Tuana, who's also another expat that's living here, and we tried barao. I had never heard of it before. It's a Portuguese liquor, and it is, how best to describe it? It's like almost like licorice-y, but not that like licorice taste, like a hint of it, but not overpowering. and then it's sweet, and then it had like a little lemony like flavor, a little lemony notes to it. And then I had it on ice. It was so good, y'all. I thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna sip this. I'm not gonna like it. Mm-mm. I like it. I like it. I might buy some. I might buy some. So, Jess, have you put up lights on the window or patio? Nope. There are no Christmas decorations in the house. All my Christmas decorations are in Florida, at my mom's house. I wasn't even tempted to do it either. I think it's just because it's me and the dog, and she doesn't know what day of the week it is either. So no. The only thing that I'm doing, and this is I should like align these to the list that I had. But one of the things is starting new traditions, right? When you're celebrating the holidays abroad, it's your opportunity to celebrate and start new traditions. So I hinted at it earlier when I talked about Friendsgiving for Thanksgiving. It's your opportunity to get with, fellow expats or locals in your new home. And especially, like I said, if it's a country that you're living in that does not celebrate that holiday, but that's a holiday that you choose to celebrate and bring over from your home country, then that's your way of celebrating. And sometimes the foods that you might eat normally during that particular holiday, you might have to source differently. It might be your opportunity to make something completely different, do a potluck, have some fun with that. Trying to stave off a sneeze. Excuse me. Woo-hoo. Um, and so that is a great way to celebrate the holidays. For me, this Christmas Eve, I'm actually doing something different. I'm leaving my house and not going to another country, but I am going to a different part of this country. So I'm going up north to Porto to celebrate Christmas Eve with one of our summit speakers. And so if you have not watched the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit or missed it because this is your first time checking us out, if you are interested in moving to Portugal, our Black Utopia and I hosted the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit last month. And this is your opportunity to get your one-stop shop for moving to Portugal. So I'll be going to Bridget's for a Christmas Eve dinner and to make it like a nice little staycation in a way. I have a hotel room because outside the dog, and Bailey missed me a lot when I was away in Italy. So I decided to make it up to the puppy and told her on our next trip, we'll do it together. So I'm renting a car. This is my first time driving in Portugal. Wish me luck. I've driven in other countries, right? I've driven in New Zealand. They drive on the opposite side of the road and steering wheel and everything is opposite. Had no problems. But for some reason, driving here just maybe because of how they drive in Lisbon or that time I got stuck literally in Porto. I think I told you guys about that story a couple weeks ago. Um, so I will drive. I'm going to drive the 3 hours up to Porto, Christmas Eve dinner, spend the night. And then we'll probably slow travel our way back down to Lisbon since I rented the car for a couple days. And this way it'll give me an opportunity to see a couple other cities that I haven't quite had a chance to take in yet. But again, that's another way to start a new tradition. You can go to another part of your new country or go to another country altogether. Maybe if you're, I mean, I don't miss the winter weather, but if you are a person who is missing the winter weather, you can go to a country that is like deeply into winter. So like, Germany or another part of the world where, you get the cold and you get the snow. That doesn't appeal to me at this phase of life anymore. Um, but that's something, or, you can be like Stephanie Perry, team boycott winter, and go to a warmer climate. You can go to an island. You can go to the other hemisphere where they're opposite seasons and celebrate. Or the continent, right? A lot of people head over to Ghana around this time of year, in South Africa, because they are in the hot, hot weather. It's like, I think it was like 90 the other day in South Africa. So that's another way to check it out and start a new tradition. Let's see. M. Young, I spent a traditional Portuguese New Year's Eve with locals in Sesimbra. Oh, wow. 4 to 5 course meal, fireworks on the beach, plenty of liquor. Embarao, you Embarao. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I gotta tell you guys about my New Year's plans. Yes. With all the cathedrals, are there any Christmas and New Year's Eve programs? I would imagine so. I would imagine so. Actually, one of our Black Global Passport members will be here as well, and is checking out one of the cathedrals. But I have not seen anything as of yet, nor have I really been looking. I do have plans for New Year's Eve, which is a first also for me in general, because I am more of a introvert. And I was like, hey, new country, new me, what are we going to do differently? And differently is I'm going out for New Year's Eve. And that was something I did not do before. I have to have some water. And I'll tell you why. So one of the reasons why is, yes, I was a homebody. But aside from that is I grew up in New York City. So I would watch when I was a kid, Dick Clark's Rocking, what was it? Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve, I think it was that's what it's called. And watch the ball drop and all of that. And I have memories of that even when I was a little girl. I think my parents a couple times went to my aunt and uncles in Manhattan, but never saw the ball drop in person in New York City. Nor did I have a desire to, because it's like over 1 million and 2 million people, like, and then now, too much violence, too much potential for violence. Not my idea of fun. And so, America does a great job at keeping your world small, right? It's as if the United States is the sun and then the other countries revolve around it, which is not the truth. And so I didn't feel like safe, going out on New Year's. It was just something that I wouldn't do. And here I feel very, very safe. Portugal jockeys between the third to the sixth safest country in the world out of 195 countries. So this year, I am going to a masquerade ball for New Year's Eve. And then afterwards, I think I want to, get on this Sesimbra beach action that's going down. Let's see. Oh, Picky Girls is in the house. Picky Girl travels the world. Adelia. Going from being mom in charge of all things to Christmas solo and abroad is definitely a change. It sure is. It really is. It's like I have like this freedom of time, and it's different. My kids, I FaceTime them the other day. Like I said yesterday, I finally remembered, like, oh, Christmas is in like 5 days. I probably need to tend to that. Whereas before it was like I'd be shopping, September, October, tucking things away, all of that stuff. And now it's just easy peasy. Yesterday I had the masseuse came over and gave me my massage. And I was like all relaxed. And then today I had my physical therapy. And so I got a facial massage, not a facial, but a face massage and jaw massage to help with my TMJ. And I was like, ah. Then I got my eyebrows done, and she did up in here. I was like, oh, I'm so relaxed. I kind of like this. I like this for me. So yeah, it's different. And like I said, with having the children go between, two homes for years, I've gotten used to not spending the holidays with them. And this one's different because I don't feel compelled to even decorate. I love the displays because I have so many pictures in my camera, my phone, of all of these holiday displays. And then my masseuse told me before she left yesterday that there is an awesome, like similar type Wonderland experience in Cascais. And there's a smaller one in the town over by me in Encanasal. And they have like go-kart rides and all this stuff for the kids. It's really cute. Steven said, I don't go nowhere on New Year's Eve or the 4th. Yeah, because America is violent. I don't blame you. Oh, thank you. Yes, yes. Thank you. I hear you. I hear you. I wouldn't be outside if I was in the States. And that was another reason why I chose not to. I mean, now that I have my residency, right? I could have flown back to the States, but I don't know when I'm flying back to the States, actually, to tell you the truth. Because little while, little while. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I decided to do something different. I was like, okay, a masquerade ball. So I bought a mask. It's actually in the cabinet behind me. I bought it in Italy. I tried on a couple masks when I was there, but I realized that I don't like the ones that go around your eyes because they just were hard and they were like pinching my nose because they don't make these masks for black noses. Like I have a wide brim nose, okay? These little narrow little things that wasn't working. I was gonna break them damn things. So I wound up getting a mask, the mask with a stick. But I know after a while I'm gonna be tired of holding this stick. So surprise, surprise, they're gonna find out who's underneath. But I had to have something because I was like, y'all don't make these for black noses. So look, there's a hustle for somebody who's looking for something for a hustle. Make a mask for black folks. But we went through that during the pandemic. Even just, those surgical masks, those regular masks we wearing, they weren't made for us. Mm-mm. Now I brought out the vino. And today I'm doing it differently. I'm drinking out of a stemless. This is let's see, okay. Mission Winery. It is the oldest winery in New Zealand, 1851. I wouldn't say that's my favorite winery in New Zealand. My favorite is actually Church Road. But second to that is Mission. So if you ever get a chance to go to wine country in New Zealand, definitely check them out. Thank you, Jess. Yes, I am getting out. So I realized because I've been in the house past couple days, recording, listening to the edits from the editor for the show because we got a couple, was it 2 weeks? I think 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. And I'll be back in your ears. And so I realized tomorrow I'm going to be out. Saturday, a bunch of us are getting out and getting together to celebrate the holidays together. So we're all going to go out to a nice restaurant. I haven't looked at the group chat yet to see where we decided because there were a bunch of ideas. So that is another way of like celebrating and creating a new tradition. And then Sunday, as I mentioned, I'm going to Porto and taking the slow path through a couple cities on the way back down. So we talked about, new traditions. But also it's a way, like if you're celebrating the holidays abroad, a good thing to do is to plan on some connection time with your loved ones back home. So whether that's call, preferably, uh, let's avoid text. um, Save the text for the flyby relatives and friends. You just want to be like, hey. But for the ones that are close, try to do something more personal. So, video chat. I plan to video chat with the children. I can't do that with my mom because she barely can answer her smartphone. So I'll just call. Plus, every time I try to get her on video, she acts like she's in a witness protection program. But that's a way that you can stay connected during the holidays. Karen said, I'll be at Casa Elm. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Yes, relishing in Black rest and acceptance. That is what I'm talking about. I hope you have a fabulous time. I am looking forward to, and I haven't even started my 2024 like travel list for the most part, but I am hoping to get to Mexico in 2024 and definitely want to go to Casa Elm. I've had Michelle on the podcast. She's fantastic. I love what she's doing with Casa Elm. Oh, that is so awesome. Yes. Yes. Did I get this one? What's one thing that someone should definitely do in their first visit to Lisbon? Visit or scout? I want to make sure I clarify. You let me know, Stephen. Visit or scout? If it's scout, I might answer it differently than a visit. Scouting. Ah, if you're scouting Lisbon, I would say definitely get on the metro. Get on the metro and go to the neighborhoods that you're interested in and check them out. And do that at different times of day. Right? Because, you want to see what it's like during rush hour. You want to see what it's like in the evening. Are you like looking at places? You want to get the total view. So neighborhoods change depending on the time of day. Some get busier, some get quieter. And so you'll want to know that. You'll also need to know where those metro stops are. And if you're thinking about settling into a place, how close you want to be to the metro, how far. I also think it's really good to go at different times of day because if you're looking at Lisbon proper, it is on the flight path to the airport. And depending on where you are in Lisbon, you might be in a neighborhood that, unbeknownst to you, is directly on the flight path. And let me tell you, those planes, they come in hot. I remember when I was scouting, I looked at a place it wasn't in Canasau, it was, Entre Campos. Entre Campos. You'll see it in that video, actually, of my scouting trip with Portugal, the place, with Colleen. And we're kind of looking up because the running joke was we went to look at this apartment and we were there 15 minutes and 6 planes went by, like big old planes. You could read the call letters. It's like I could see people's luggage. It was so close and loud. And I was like, there's no way in hell I'm moving over here because, you had to think. I had to think ahead. What do? I record a podcast. I go live on YouTube. I do not need background noise that's that loud. And although the windows here are double paned and I can't hear anything outside except for the occasional dog, let me tell you, you can hear a big ass plane. So if you are someone who is sensitive when you sleep and you want to cherish every little second there is, you will do yourself a favor. Go ride the metro, check out some of the neighborhoods at different times of the day, and also to see if the neighborhood has what you want out of it. Do you have cafes? Do you have fruitarias and mercados? And where's the major supermarket? Where's the pharmacy? These are things that you're going to interface with on a regular. Or where's the panaderia, right? You're going to want some fresh bread, the butcher, all of those things. Because once the dust settles and the patina wears off and the newness, right, you come down from that euphoria, you're going to be living your day to day. And it's going to be really important for you to know that. So, visit only there 8 days. Oh, well, if you're there 8 days, uh, I'm partial to museums. I'm going to tell you to check out the amazing museums that are here. Yes. I have not been to Campo Grande. Wait, no, wait. I think I have. I've been to Campo Pequeño. I have been to Campo Grande. When was that? It might have been last week. It might have been last week. Yeah. It's so funny. Like I said, time is all a blur now, and I'm out a lot. And so it's like when the weekend comes, I'm like, oh, okay, let me not buy any groceries till like Monday or Tuesday because if I buy them, especially since our food here is so fresh, um, it can spoil if you don't use it. So I yes, near the university. Yep. I've been over there. Yep. There's a plant shop actually not too far over there. That's where I got the plant behind me, my palm. All right. So let me think. Let me go back to my list because I want to try and do my best to stay on topic. Um, oh, so another thing you can do when you're celebrating the holidays, especially if you're with locals, is to do like a culture exchange, right? To introduce your culture to your friends in your new country, and for them to share um, some interesting factoids and history about the country in which you are now in. So that's another great way. Uh, Word Up Psychotherapy. Do you shop mostly at your locals? Yes. Very rarely do I go to the mall. If I go to the mall, I can't say I go to the mall for clothes. When I was in the States, that's what I would do, right? You look for the big mega shopping malls and all that stuff. And I'm not a shopper at all, actually. Um, but since I didn't come with any real wardrobe, I've had to shop. But a lot of the stores are in the neighborhoods. So you'll walk certain neighborhoods and you'll see a Zara's, or um, if you're in what's that area, Marques Pombal slash Saldana, you'll see El Corte Inglés. Um, but yeah, there's some great stores in the neighborhood, mom and pop stores that have cute little outfits and different wares, housewares, you name it. Excuse me. And then, you still have the IKEAs and all that stuff for sure. But I do love about Portugal is that like each neighborhood has either they'll have like a big mercado, or they'll have the Centro Comercial, and that's where you'll have like mine is huge, and it has a beauty salon in it. There's a beauty salon, Chinese market, butcher, bakery, multiple bakeries, multiple restaurants, several banks in it, um, a spice store where you can get all different kinds of spices, Found a Brazilian store which had a bunch of hair products in it. There's laundry mats in there. What else is in there? Yeah, furniture. Yeah, you name it. It's all in there. It's fantastic. So when I have to get something, just go run in there. Um, I don't know about the high streets in London. I don't think I got to that. Hmm. I'm not sure what that is, but yes, you have like local stores everywhere. And that's what I love about it is that they encourage mom and pop shops, right? And it's interesting, like in the States, usually your mom and pop shops will be the ones that are more expensive because they don't usually have the foot traffic. And then obviously they have the overhead of having a physical location. But oftentimes the mom and pop shops have better prices than the malls. So that's something that's different here. Um, cool, cool, cool. Let's see what else is on my list. So we talked about virtual connections, being able to, excuse me, stay in touch with your loved ones. Um, Create rituals, which is like I'm doing now, right? I had my day of ease with my massage, leaning into, the rest of the weekend, um, which is going to be spent with friends and meeting new people because at the dinner, I'm not going to know anyone but Bridget. So it'll be an opportunity for me to meet new people. We talked about setting and sharing cultural exchanges with locals. Another thing that you can do when you're trying to celebrate the holidays in a country that's not your own, it's a great opportunity to volunteer. So maybe there's the country's version of like a habitat or an opportunity to spend time with either littles that are in school or seniors, or other projects that are afoot. It might be a great opportunity for you to lend yourself in that way. And like I said, even if it's in a country where the holiday that you would normally celebrate in your home country isn't celebrated in your new country. Um, Portugal has a lot of holidays. There's festas all the time. And so we're always celebrating something. People are always in the streets till the wee hours. And even when it's a game, it feels like a festa going on and Benfica is playing. Um, but this is a great way for you to like lend yourself, like I said, volunteering in the local community is a great way to connect. And then, like I said, how having ways where you can have a fusion of, things that you like from your home country that you want to bring over. And it's interesting. It's going to be, especially for those of you who are scouting, you might want to source those that you might need to bake or cook in your new country because if you wanted to recreate those same things in your if you have did I say that right? You want to recreate things from your old country, right, your home country into your new country. You'll want to source those while you're scouting, and if they don't have it, you want to find substitutes. And if it's in a country where English is not spoken, you also want to know what's the word in that language. Oftentimes, when I go to the grocery store, I have my list and then I have to look up the words and find the equivalent because I'll go down the aisles, let's say looking for flour, and that's not what it's called here. It's called farina. And so you'll want to look for those things. Oh, Jess said, used to volunteer. Yes, that was a big thing for me too. When I was in the States, I used to volunteer for the Red Cross and some other in a homeless shelter. Uh, Greta says, "Have you been to IKEA yet?" Yes. Yes, the prices at IKEA are way less expensive here. Um, It is very true. Most, I won't say, I don't know. I didn't get this table from IKEA. What did I get from IKEA? Oh, yes, I got my bed. My bed is from IKEA. It's a king size bed. Like in Europe, we have things are more compact. And so you have furniture that usually has more than one purpose. So I have a bed that also lifts and it has storage underneath, just so that you have a better use of space. So my bed came from IKEA. I'm trying to think what else in terms of furniture. I think that's the only piece of furniture that I got from IKEA. Everything else came from Conforama or Sklum, which is I think Sklum is a UK brand. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else on my list. And let me know if there's anything else that you think that we should add to this list on how to celebrate those big holidays. Let me see what y'all say. Let me switch back. All right. Yes. Yeah. Feed the homeless. Yep. That's a great idea. Yeah. There are people that are unhoused in uh, pretty much every part of the world. And so, it's a good time to give to those that are less fortunate. Um, And so, like I said, I think it's a great way for you also to invite people. So part of celebrating the holidays is also your opportunity in your new country to showcase that to your friends and relatives back home. So it might be inviting people from your home country to visit you during the holidays, and then this way you can show them what it's like to celebrate the holidays in your new country. Cool, cool, cool. Hey, Krista said she's getting sushi on Christmas. Yes. I can't remember what the menu is for Bridget's dinner. She sent it to me. But I was in Italy at the time, so I remember it looked good. So I don't think it has sushi on the menu, but I was rooting for sushi for our restaurant dinner on Saturday. I think I lost out. Wow. Yeah. The homeless population in America is obscene. And it's only going to get worse because even though inflation is starting to go down, uh, mortgages are still at a high interest rate, and it hasn't like quite turned, and people are getting laid off like in droves. Right before our live, I saw that the market closed, and some of the big corporations are changing their guidance for end of year, which Q4 will be reported probably starting like January, February of 2024. And so we're going to probably see something similar to how it started the year with the big tech purge of people losing their jobs. And so wouldn't be surprised if that number crept up, sadly. And you see it especially in parts of Los Angeles for sure. When I was there in 2019, shooting a commercial, it was it was sad. Making Rocco and black eyed peas, cornbread, and greens. Ooh, all right now. All right now. For sure, for sure. All right. I think we did it. We ran through the list. Unless there's something else, I don't want to keep y'all. I don't want to keep you longer than you need to. Let me know. All right. Any questions off topic that you want to ask before I jet? If not, I'm gonna find people go. Y'all got your list. Okay, Jess said I did good. All right, thank you, Jess. Next week I'll be back. same back time, same back channel. And I don't know. I got to think about what I want to talk about next week. We'll see. Yes. In the meantime, of course, have a wonderful holiday. Be safe. I wish you joy, abundance, and peace. I'll see you next week, y'all.